Hey, what's up? This is your girl, Mia Petway. This is another episode of MeTime Podcast. What's up, people? It's been a minute, and I know the last video I promised that I would do better, and I tried. I really did. I tried to do better, but life has a tendency. I'm sorry, I'm picking with this over my head. Life has the tendency to get the best of us. And since the last time that we spoke, let me put that right there. No, actually, put it right here. Since the last time we spoke, I lost my mom. She passed on the 8th. Sorry, my throat isn't cleared because all the talking on the phone and all the crying. Come on, I'm not going to sit here and act like I did not cry. Although I know that she had been battling cancer early part of this year. We know that breast cancer came back again. This was her third bout. We can always say we're preparing ourselves, but you'll never be prepared. Never. You would never be prepared for the loss of a loved one, a parent, a child, a best friend, a spouse. You're never prepared for that time and day, even when you see it coming. And clearly, it was a matter of when, but at some point in time, it was also clear to us just 2 weeks prior that time was near. And literally, there was one day in between her getting sick again and then going to her dialysis and never returning home. I'm processing. I took care of my mom for 9 years while my dad wasn't here, my stepfather, and 17 years ago when she first got sick. So it's been a long journey. And she was not incapacitated. It's just that there was always something between stroke, cancer, diabetes, dialysis, treatments, regular doctor visits. It was ongoing, but thank God for my husband, my children, and my dear friends from time to time. Y'all stepped in. Y'all know who y'all are. If asked, it was granted and without question if there was the time. So I think all those who've been in my life and been traveling on this journey with me, who's been such a I'm trying to think of the actual word, and I can't, but what you were was priceless to the things that I had to do to make sure my mom was well taken care of, including working, going to school, maintaining my own family, and peace of mind, or my mental status. I tell you, it's not easy to take care of your loved one, and when I think about it, I would do it all over again. Definitely, you definitely need support. It helps. It really does help, because I can tell you during this time, over the years, I didn't take the vacations the way I probably wanted to with me and my family. My mom was included with that. And then if we took her, we had to prepare medical care along the way, rather as dialysis or what other needs that she may have had at the time. So there was such a sacrifice with all of us. I would travel and go see my other daughter, who I have 2 in the military, and I would travel at the time, but I never stayed long, and I had to make that decision to just get up and go, and that was not an easy task, trust me, but I knew that I had to get away. So what I used to plan, also over 10 years ago, I started doing something called MeTime, and MeTime was me taking me away. It's very important. That's why MeTime Podcast has its name, is because sometimes we just got to get away. We got to get away from all the hustle bustle of life. We got to get away from the technology, from the phone, from the, excuse me, BS, because I would probably prefer to say it, I just won't. All the BS of life, all the negativity, and reflect. Reject, because some people you just need to let them go. Reject it. Accept where you are. and move forward. Listen, rather it's a marriage, your children, because everybody come to a season of life. Sometimes we come to a point in life, and sometimes life ends. But you better make sure you maintain the control over what you got. Okay? Nobody can take away your peace, but you can surely give it away. Nobody can make you do anything, but you can sure be talked into some things. Out of having when you have a big heart or a good heart, people knows how to use that. They knows how to use that. And I learned a gift years ago of saying no. When you have a yes heart, a yes personality, you have to learn how to say no and be okay with it. So what I want to share with MeTime podcast is, while I'm processing during this time, I don't want to dive into something to avoid. I want to be dedicated to and committed to something to be purposeful. And definitely MeTime podcast is that thing that I still want to just speak into your life. And, if you send me a message, I promise I'll answer. I promise that, hey, you should talk about this topic, I will. If you tell me, hey, I would like to be on your show and, we collaborate something together, hey, that's a possibility. There's all types of possibilities, MeTime podcast. What I don't want it to be is another negative outlet for anybody. I want to maintain the positivity that we have. And with that being said, I just want to tell everybody, death is going to happen for all of us at some point in time. You have loved ones or you have yourself, but you need to make sure your business is in place, meaning your finances, your life insurance. You have children, even more so, a trust. Who's going to take care of them if something happened to you? If the mother or father isn't there or the grandparents aren't there, if you die today, is your business in place? Can someone gain access to your account to make sure that, hey, if you need to be buried, that they can get it? And make sure that when you have things written down, it's in OR, not A-N-D. That makes it harder. Get you a will. I hear people say all the time, I don't have a will because I don't have anything. Sure you do. You have possessions. You may have credit cards, or other kind of debt. But if you have a 401 at your job, you want to make life easy for somebody that they don't have to beg the system to give them what belongs to you, rather it's your children or a loved one or whatever. Make sure you put beneficiaries down. Make sure you have some kind of relationship with people. And my God, if you're rich or you have well off for yourself, make sure things are really in order. And I'll tell people this all the time because I say to my own kids, what you may think is fair may not be what I want to do for whatever reason I see fit. So rather I have a car, I can't give it to 3, but I can sure enough give it to 1 or I get rid of it. I'm not going to be fair, equally divided with my children so that they won't think bad of me. I'm telling them right now, there's a possibility, because say if one got more than the other. Say if I gave one child $20,000 and the others never asked, and I might decide to deduct that 20. It is my right to do whatever needs to be done for the sake of where my heart is, what I say to see fit to be done. And that brings about why am I having this conversation? Because my mom did put things in place and in order and told me what she wants. She's told me more than one time. She's told me multiple times. So many times we thought she was not going to make it. She did. And when she did, she fixed things. She made it better. She made it clearer. She made it however she needed to see fit. And still people will question for the sake of what they feel is right and what is fair. Anything that is upon somebody's heart to do is fair. It's nobody's business why, what, how, anything. But sometimes people don't want to hear that. And not because I was granted something, whatever the case may be. It's the true fact. It's a true fact that People have blessed people that they did not know because of something that they seen in them, or and the family got mad because how did this happen? Nobody knows the heart of a person when they see something good in someone. If you choose to sell all you got and give it to charity because you see that there's a need, or that's where your heart lies, that is your business. That I'm I'm in the grieving process, but I'm in the healing as well. Because I remember going to a funeral years ago. He said, you can cry, you can get mad, you can get all these things, you can do all that you want to do. At some point in time, you can't stay there. You got to move out of that space. You know, it can be depressing and it can be hurtful. And I'm going through all those emotions. Because as I'm moving into my mom's house, I'm leaving my place called home, but I'm still doing what she wanted me to do. We were supposed to move in with her prior to this happening. And it was a matter of timing. The this past weekend that we had off, which was the last week of August, we were supposed to have gone on a cruise, and we changed that, or we just, somebody else can go on a cruise at this point. I'm not going. Me and Corona ain't sailing together, okay? So we just didn't do anything, but we had plans on remodeling the house, moving in, and granting her wishes of keeping her family nearby. Life took a different toll. We're still proceeding forward. She has spoken to my husband personally to express how she felt about him being there and let him know that he's the man of the house. He's been maintaining 2 houses like me. I've been a woman of 2 houses and maintaining, raising children and taking care of my parents. So that helped a lot in this transition, because my husband was not comfortable with that. He didn't want nobody to think bad of him. But how can somebody think so bad of a man that you don't have to ask him for anything? He's going to give it. He goes around to the senior citizens or the older people in our family, and or those that he knows when it snows, and goes shovel just because. Let me tell you something about when you're blessing others. You don't know how your blessing is going to come back. And nobody has the right to tell you what your blessing should look like based off of what you do. Because as long as you're doing it from the whole heart, don't worry about what people are going to say. They talked about Jesus. That's the way I feel about it. So my husband gives unconditionally. And my mom wanted to make sure that she will express to him how she appreciated him so much. This man has helped us carry her up the stairs in a wheelchair, or get a friend to carry her in and out the house. We endured a lot taking care of my mom. And like I said, I would do it again. If you have a loved one who needs medical attention and you're not able to give it, give them the right to be taken care of properly. And you have to discuss with your family, what is that? And if there's more than you, everybody should be working towards the same goal to make sure that their hand is to the plow. Nobody should be sitting back watching anybody else give and give and give and give, and they're waiting to get. Seed time harvest. Seed time harvest. I won't say what I do, because I know where my blessings lie. But I always do with the right intentions of that's who I am. There is no way in hell that I don't expect for good to come back to me. Because in order for me to bless somebody, they have to have an open hand. So I too have to have an open hand when I'm going to be blessed. And that was a hard task, because I'm not a person who expect to receive anything. But I had to be able to allow that person to bless me so that they can be blessed as well. Listen, we don't know where this world is going, but one thing I know for sure, we all will die someday. All I'm saying is get your house in order, get your body in order, get your mind straight, and do better. Get some things in life in the proper steps so that when death comes, it's not a surprise to others, because it's definitely not going to be a surprise to you. We just don't know when. Once again, this is an episode of MeTime Podcast. This is just my special way of saying thank you for still hanging on in there with me. I do appreciate you. I pray to get better. You know, we can say one thing, but we never know what turns in life bring us. And no matter what crossing point you are in life, understand you're loved and appreciated. Because as long as you love you and appreciate you, you're doing the right things. Stay tuned for another episode of MeTime Podcast. See you soon.